My second video on how to use Logic. This video we're going to be going over the Arrange window. Now the Arrange window is the first screen that you see once you create a project, and it's this window that I've got open here. It's split up into several different things really. We've got the control bar at the top here, we've got the inspector window here, and this a transport bar at the bottom. But this main bit here, this is the Arrange window. This is where we get all of our tracks, we manipulate our tracks, and we arrange them like, like you'd arrange something on your desk, or you'd arrange files or something. This is where you're arranging it over time. Now the key thing is, this is it's basically logic set up in the time domain. So when we do our arranging, we do it in units of time. By default, we're lining everything up by bars, but we can change it. There's ways we can change it, so we can do it in seconds if you want to record like Foley sounds, that sort of thing. So down here, all of these here, these are our tracks. This is a project I'm working on, so I've got quite a few tracks. Now the tracks have, they're numbered. We can move the numbers about. We can rearrange them. We can group them. We can do whatever we want to them like that. We can assign pictures to them, so we can easily see what is what. We can name them, which is an extremely useful thing to do. And it's really frustrating when people don't name their tracks and you try and work on a project, because if somebody else is working on your project, you've got no idea what that track is. So the more descriptive you are, the better it is really. We have also got the input monitoring, the record enable, the mute and the solo buttons, so we can quickly and easily mute and solo tracks, as well as arm them to be recorded, or just check the levels on the input monitoring. Now this window here, these things here are called regions. Regions contain information. The default colour for an audio region is this blue colour, and a MIDI region is a light green colour. Now basically up here we've got all of the bars, and we can zoom in, zoom out, and we can see the bars, and it's always good practice to line everything up to either your bars or into seconds, depending on what type of project you're working on. So here I've got a crash region. This is where I've recorded a crash sound, and I'm having it play on the first, between bar 6 and bar 7, the crash sound rings out for the whole length of the bar, whole 4 beats. By clicking and dragging, I can make that, for example, play there instead, on the 7th bar instead of the 6th bar. If I wanted it to play really, really short, I can even do stuff like that with it. Or the same for here. I mean, this is a MIDI region. If I solo that, which is extremely useful for stuff like that. Now, basic moving about the Arrange window. A lot of people have asked me, how do you zoom? Well, down here we've got a little control thing here that if we move it up and down, you zoom in and you zoom out. vertical zoom. There's another one here which does horizontal zoom. If you're using a trackpad or a Magic Trackpad or whatever it's called, if you can get 2 fingers on it and you can just spread your fingers apart and it will just zoom in and zoom out, nice and easy. Then you've got your standard scroll bar, so you can scroll about your page. Now, if we want to change, if we don't want to work in bars anymore, if we want to work in seconds, we've got a little thing here, which is basically our strip up here. So if we choose time, everything's shown in relation to seconds now. A good one to work on is bar and time, where it works in bars, but it also shows you an indication of time, which is really useful when you've got a very strict project that it's got to be dead on 4 minutes or 30 seconds or something like that. Time and bar is the same, but it prioritises time and shows you the bars. That's pretty much it for the arrange window. If we look at the transport bar down here, we've got standard like playback controls. Record, play, stop, beginning, play from loop, which is that button. We've got our SMPTE clock, which shows us our exact time. This is our BPM. We can change that how we want, and that will change everything else in relation to you changing, well, it's your global tempo actually. This is also your global beats per bar, our time signature. Now we can change it individually as well, but if you want to do it globally, you can do it like that. This is your information on your MIDI, and this is your computer performance monitor. We've got a metronome, switch on and off there. We've got loads of other things like punch in, punch out, low latency mode, which we'll get into later. Loop, that turns your loop indicators on and off. We can solo a region, which is quite useful. We can also do it just by pressing S as well. So if we click on a region, then click that or S, it gets like a yellow line around it. That means that when you click play, it will only play that region. And we've got stuff like copy, replace, and a few other things. We can completely customize all of this as well. Another useful thing is this here. This allows you to zoom in and out of the size of the waveform as well. So if you recorded something at a very, very low gain level, which you shouldn't really, but I mean, you can zoom in just to have a look into it, see what it's like, see how much noise is on that really, visually. But it's always better to use your ears and stuff like that. This down here, this is your global volume control, but it's very good if you're using stuff like TalkBack as well, because you've got a little mute thing here. So you've got, you know, the master volume, and then you get like the lower volume. But if you click that, it knocks everything down by 6 dB. So if you're trying to talk to somebody, you can click that. It will still carry on playing, but it knocks your master down by 6 dB. So it's a really quick dim. If you happen to move this, you want to put it back, you just click that one, and it puts it back at 0 dB. That is pretty much it for this. Next video we're going to go on about the media browser in video 3. So come back, watch that, and keep practicing really.